Okay, so yeah, have a strap. We'll start seated, so just come to Sukhasana, your cross-legged pose, or wherever feels good to be. Just bringing the hands to the legs, palms up. Let's find a nice long spine. Soften the shoulders down your back. Maybe close the eyes or just let your gaze come down to the floor, find a drishti. And feel the breath coming in through the nose. And keeping the lips closed, feel the breath coming out through the throat. So it's like you're breathing out through the mouth, but lips stay closed so that you develop that ujjayi sound to the breath. See if you can grow a little bit taller through the spine. And then just building in the awareness of your bandhas, the 3 bandhas. So Mula Bandha, that slight contraction of perineum as you exhale. So you create that deeper pelvic floor lift. Uddiyana Bandha, drawing the navel to spine as you exhale particularly. And just a soft Jalandhara, so your chin coming towards the throat. Jalandhara is a throat lock. We don't want to lock it, obviously, but just bringing the chin towards the throat just creates a deeper sense of that ujjayi sound, just creates a bit more contraction at the throat. Don't worry if it doesn't make sense with your body. Just having the awareness of those areas, those spaces. Bring the palms over to hold on to your knees. And as you next inhale, bring the chest forwards, draw the shoulder blades together. As you exhale, bring the spine towards the wall behind you. So rounding through your back, bring the gaze towards the navel. Inhale again as you come forwards and up. And exhale, rounding through. Couple more breaths here. Inhaling forwards. Exhaling back. Inhaling forwards. Exhaling back. Come back forwards again and start to take this round in big circles. So round towards one side and to the back, to the other side and forwards. Just get the hips feeling loose, the shoulders feeling free. Let the head roll into it if it wants to. And then take it round the other way. And slowly bringing yourself then back up to the center. Gently roll yourself over into all fours. Just build into a little bit of strengthening and warming up of our wrists. So start with the fingers really stretched open into the floor. Just transferring the weight forwards, backwards, or round in little circles around the wrists. Keep the fingertip pads pressing into the floor, but just scrunch up, particularly the index finger knuckle. You're just creating a little tunnel under that finger. The middle finger and the ring finger if we can. So it's like you're trying to grab hold of a scrunch up of your mat in the hands. Turn the fingers to face the outer edges of the mat, and again going side to side or round in circles, transferring the weight around the wrists and the fingers. Turn the fingers around any further towards your knees if you can. They don't have to go all the way around. Taking the weight backwards and forwards or round in circles. And then slowly turn the hands all the way back around the other way again. Let's keep the fingers flat to the ground this time. So take out any scrunching that you've created. And then lift the palms up off the floor. So you feel maybe a stretch through the fingers. And then slowly lower the palms down. Again, lift the palms up off the floor. Fingers stay flat. And exhale, slowly bringing the wrists down. Again, palms up. And palms down. If we can, shift the shoulders forwards a little bit. Jim, just take a micro bend of your elbows and then lift the palms up and slowly down. Good, palms up, slowly down. Either keep that going for a few more rounds. If we can build into it a little bit higher, you tuck the toes under. So you lift the palms up, lift the knees up, bring the palms down, then the knees down. Palms up, knees up, palms down, knees down. Good, one more round. Palms up, knees up, palms down, knees down with control. Good. And then just take a few cat rolling through the spine or round in circles. Just again, any movement to loosen up the back and the shoulders. Tuck the toes, come into a downward facing dog and just keep that moving again, paddling the feet, swing the hips side to side. On your next inhale, wave the body forwards into your plank position, so really broad through the shoulder blades. As you exhale, lift the sit bones and tailbone up, coming back into downward dog. Good. Inhale, waving forwards to plank. Exhale, coming back into downward dog. Once more, waving forwards. Exhale brings it back. Coming back forwards into your plank position again. Place the knees down to the floor and stay there in all fours. You're going to walk the hands forwards to come into more of a puppy stretch, getting the shoulders open. So forehead towards the ground, let the tailbone reach up towards the ceiling. Chin or forehead to the floor, whichever you prefer. Have a sense of the elbows trying to lift, but the armpits trying to wrap towards the ground. Really full breaths wide into the ribs. And have the awareness of those bandhas again. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana, and Jalandhara. Pressing through the hands. Bring yourself back into all fours. Tuck the toes underneath, come back towards your heels into a kneeling position. You can stay higher on the knees if you want to. Doesn't matter where the legs are, we're just going to take your strap and roll the shoulders out a little bit. So be wherever you feel comfortable in the legs. So go really wide with the strap. I think all of you would have done this before. You take a wrap of the strap around your hands. So arms stay straight and shoulder height to start with. Just drop the shoulder blades into your back first. So try and keep those shoulder blades down. Your inhale lifts the strap up, keep it tight through the middle. And as you exhale, roll it back behind you. So if you now know you need to loosen that up or tighten it in a little bit, then take any adjustments that you need to. So lift it back overhead and out in front of you. Keep it going with your breath. You want to find that kind of sweet spot where your arms can stay straight. So you're getting a little stretch around the shoulders, but it's not having to create any struggle with your elbows coming through. Your arms can stay straight and the movement is smooth. Inhale as you lift. Really try to keep the rest of the torso still, so we're not using the ribs to help the shoulders move. We want to isolate that rotation through the shoulders. Good. If you can, just nudge it in a centimetre tighter. That little difference of strap length will make quite a big difference to the feeling of it. So take small adjustments. Good, that's it. Last couple. Good, and then we're going to bring the strap to the floor. I want you to kind of keep hold of it if you can. Just lie down onto your front. So we're going to take that same motion again, but lying on your belly. So arms are out in front of you. Don't worry, so if you want to go longer with the strap again to start with, it might feel a little trickier for shoulders. So on your front, press down through the shoelace bit of your feet. So you're feeling like you're tucking the tailbone. Glutes are active to hold this torso steady. Lift the head up off the floor, but just keep the gaze down so the back of the neck stays long. So as you inhale, try and lift the strap up above your head, and as you exhale, roll it back towards your bum. Yeah, good. And then keep it going, just back to the floor. Keep the strap pulling tight through the middle. Go looser with it if you need to. Don't take it all the way round if that's feeling tricky for shoulders. See how it feels. Last couple here. Keep navel pulling to spine on the exhale, so stay really strong through the core. Next time the strap's out in front of you, hold it there. Release the wrapping of it. This time I want you to start the movement with palms facing up to the ceiling. So see, you might need to use one hand to kind of help loop the strap around, so you have it still wrapped around your palms, but palms stay up. Again, be mindful, it might feel a little weirder or a little trickier for shoulders. So bring the strap up above the head, let the shoulders then roll above you. So then you bring the palms down towards your bottom. That's it. And then coming back up again, and the palms roll at the top. So when they come down to the floor in front, the palms are facing the ceiling. Keep it going a couple of times. You can adjust the strap as you need to. But just getting that rolling sensation through the shoulders. If you can, add in another roll, so palms, when they come back behind you, are facing up. Roll all the way and face back up to the ceiling at the front. Squash the strap between your thumb and your hand will help you kind of grip into it. Yeah. Last one or two. Yeah. Oh, a few crunches in them shoulders. Next time the strap's out in front of you, let it come down all the way. Good. Unravel your hands, take the strap out to one side, place the hands under the shoulders, just give them a little wiggle out if you need to. And then press up to all fours, come back into a child's pose, just have a little wriggle out there to stretch out your back. Take a couple of deep breaths. And then come forwards through all fours, tuck the toes, and back into your downward dog. See if there's any more kind of room in your shoulders now to get the chest drawn through towards your legs. Let the head hang into it. From here, begin to walk the feet towards your hands at the top of the mat. Yeah, just holding into that fold. Again, any soft movement or swaying, just let the body loosen up. And then keep the arms dangling to the floor. Stay where you are, take a full breath in. As you exhale, use those deeper bandhas again to help roll you towards standing. Roll the shoulders down your back when you get to the top. And bring the big toes to touch. Bring the hands to the heart center. Maybe close the eyes, or again, just find your drishti to fix your gaze to. So again, when we're standing, when we're seated, when we're in different postures, the engagement of your bandhas will feel slightly different. So just come back to those 3 points, that deeper pelvic floor, navel, and throat. On your next inhale, lift the hands towards the ceiling. We'll begin with a soft sun A. So as you exhale, find a forward fold. Hands to the shins or the floor, find a halfway lift, reaching breastbone forwards. Take your time with a long exhale, step the feet back and lower down through a half chaturanga, knees to the floor, chest to the ground. Inhale, come into cobra, shoulders drawing back away from the ears. Use the exhale to come back through to a downward facing dog. Stretch the palms open, index fingers are rooted, stretch the toes open. Take 2 more full breaths. 1 more full breath. Gaze to the hands, bend the knees. You can step, walk or shuffle the feet or jump the feet to the hands. Halfway lift, take an inhale. Exhale, fold into the legs. Inhale as you rise, bring the hands out to the sides and up to the ceiling. And on this first one, bring the hands back to the heart center. Take a full round of breath here. On your next inhale, lift the hands towards the ceiling. Exhale to find forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale takes you to chaturanga. You can step or hop back. Half or full chaturangas. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale to downward dog. 3 breaths, inhale, 1. Exhale. Inhale, 2. Exhale, remember those bandhas. Inhale, 3. Exhale, bring the gaze to the hands, bend the knees, step, walk or hop. Inhale, takes you into the halfway lift. Exhale, fold into the legs, forehead comes to the shins. Inhale as you rise, coming all the way to stand. Go straight back into a third round, so exhale to refold. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, takes you to chaturanga, you can step or hop back. Inhale as you lift the chest. Exhale, come back into downward dog. Inhaling 1. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. Inhale 3. Exhale, gaze to hands, bend the knees, prepare. Inhale, jumping up, take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold into the legs. Inhale as you rise, hands high. Exhale, refold, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, inhale. If you're jumping back to chaturanga, try to land with bent elbows. So forget plank, land bent elbows down. Good. Inhale, then lift the chest. Exhale to downward dog. Holding here, inhale 1. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. Inhale 3. Exhale, bring the knees to the floor, come back to all fours. Walk the hands out, come back into that puppy stretch. Shoulders dropping down. Forehead or chin to the floor. See if you can bring your chest closer to the ground. Take your arms further out in front of you if you can, if it helps get the chest to the floor. One more full breath here. Pressing into the palms, bring the shoulders back up, hands back under the shoulders, tuck the toes, lift the knees back into your downward dog. Lift the right leg up towards the ceiling, taking a little interval between our sun cells. Take the bend of that right knee to open the hips out. Draw that left heel down towards the floor to lengthen hamstring, unless you're taking care of your hammies. Keep a bend in the knee. If you want to, from here, if you're feeling warm already, then take your wild thing if you wish to, or stay where you are for now. We'll have another opportunity for wild thing later. Good, reaching that right hand back, bring the gaze towards the floor behind you. So really open through the throat and the chest and the shoulders. Lengthen through that straight leg, your left leg to support you. Take one more breath where you are. Bring the gaze back to the floor, the hand back to the floor, lift that right foot back up again, take a full breath in. As you exhale, step through to between the hands, you're just going to hold a runner's lunge. So keep the back knee lifted, bring the hands up. Exhale, bring the hands to interlace behind your back. Again, opening the shoulders, so reach the knuckles towards the back of the mat, the chest reaches forwards. Keep the tailbone drawing down and those deeper bandhas lifting up to support the spine. Belly drawing in and the exhales. Gently release the clasp of the hands. Bring the hands up above the head again. Interlace the fingers together this time. Index fingers pointing up, that Kali Mudra. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, the arms back behind the ears. Again, keep the tailbone dropping down, the abdominals lifting up. Reach further forwards through your front knee, and the breastbone reaches up towards the ceiling. Take another full breath where you are. At the end of the exhale, round the arms towards the floor again. Step back into your downward dog. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. Left leg lifts up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in. Bend the knee and open the hip bones out to the sides. Draw the underneath heel towards the floor unless you're keeping a bend in the knee for hamstring depth. Slowly, if you wish, you drop it into wild thing or hold where you are for a few breaths. So keep reaching that left hand back. If you drop to wild thing, gaze towards the floor behind you. long as you can through that top line of the body. Really straight through that supporting right leg. Slowly bring the gaze to the mat, the hands to the mat. Lift the left toes back up again, stepping it through to between the hands, coming into that high lunge. Keep the back knee lifted, arms reach up with a breath in, and interlace together behind you, one finger differently. Draw the knuckles towards the back heel, shoulder blades squeeze together, breastbone reaches forwards. So focus the exhale to lift the abdominals in, tailbone drawing, lengthening down. This is an upper back bend, not lower spine. Yeah. Release the clasp, inhale, hands lift up, interlace the fingers, one finger differently, index fingers pointing up. That feels really weird to do it one finger differently. Squeeze the arms back behind the ears, lift the fingers up, lift the breastbone. Take a full breath. At the end of the exhale, release the hands to the floor, step back into your downward dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Gaze to the hands, bend the knees, step, walk or hop to the top of the mat. Bring the big toes to touch. Take a deep bend in the knees. We start straight into B. So taking your chair pose, inhale. As you exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift as you inhale. Jumping back, chaturanga, or stepping back, of course, in any variations. Lift the chest, inhale. Exhale to downward dog. Take an inhale to lift the right leg first. As you exhale, step through, coming into warrior one, turning the back foot. So that lift up of the leg we're going to take out on the next one, but feel free to keep it in if it's more comfortable. So holding warrior one for a few breaths on this first round, deep bend in that front knee. Make sure the back heel is rooted so the foot's on a diagonal, and have a sense of pressing the feet apart from each other, scooping up those lower abdominals. Lift the gaze to the space between the palms or palms closed if that's okay with the shoulders. Take a full breath in. Use a long exhale to carry you through the chaturanga. Inhale, then lift the chest up. Exhale into the downward facing dog. Left leg lifts up, take a breath in. Exhale, step through to between the hands, back foot diagonal. Inhale, lift the palms, holding for a couple of breaths. Reach into that front knee, tailbone lengthening down. Think about creating space at the front of the right hip. Take a full breath in, lift the gaze. Long exhale takes you through the chaturanga. Inhale, then lift the chest up. Long and strong through your arms. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. Take a full breath. Bring the knees to the floor, back into all fours. You're coming forward with the hands back into that puppy stretch. See if the chest can come a little closer to the floor. If the chest is grounded, see if you can tuck the toes of your right foot and just press back into the heel so the right knee lifts up off the floor. Bring that knee to the ground, maybe switching sides. Bring that knee to the floor. Either press through the palms or bring the palms towards you first, then press up to all fours. Good. Take a little rolling of the shoulders or rounding of the back. Come back into your downward dog. Gaze to the hands, bend the knees, step, walk or hop to the top of the mat. Halfway lift as your inhale. Exhale, fold into the legs, take a deep bend in the knees, coming back into chair pose as you inhale. Exhale, refold into the feet. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. We're going to add a double chaturanga in this time. Lift the chest up as you inhale. As you exhale, come back into your chaturanga. That might be the hover. That can still be the half chaturanga, knees down. If your knees are down, use an inhale to come to all fours. If your knees are up, come into plank. Exhale, come back into downward dog. Take a full breath. So using your inhale, right foot is going to come forward. You can scissor the legs first if it's more comfortable. Find your warrior one. Lift the hands as you inhale. We're going to interlace the fingers together behind your back. Open the chest, inhaling. Open that front foot a little bit wider. So as you exhale, come into humble warrior. Shoulders coming down. The crown of the head facing that top left corner of your mat. Draw the shoulder blades together and deepen into that front leg. Bring the hips, the pelvis closer to the floor. Travel forwards and down. Think about bringing your hair to stroke the top of your front foot. On your next inhale, pressing through the front foot to bring you all the way up, arms lifting. Use a long exhale to roll through the vinyasa, so taking your chaturanga. If you wish to miss a chaturanga, just come back to downward dog. Could add in that double chaturanga if you want to. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. Sometimes it's not a case of if you want to, but if you know the strength is going to really build some benefit to the body, then play with it. So left leg comes forwards, finding warrior one. Again, scissor the legs if that's more comfortable. Bring the arms up on your inhale. Exhale, interlace the fingers, open the front foot wider. Open the chest, big breath in. Exhale, coming forwards and down to humble warrior. Think about the pelvis coming forwards and down, so you're long through the body. Keep that back heel rooting. Shoulder blades squeezing together, so lift the shoulders up away from the ears so your neck can lengthen and soften. Use the bandhas. Your next inhale, press through the front foot, lift the arms back up to the ceiling. Exhale, roll through the vinyasa. Feel free to pause in downward dog or up level to that double chaturanga. Your inhale lifts the chest to up dog. Exhale, back to chaturanga. Inhale, all fours or plank. Exhale to downward dog. Good. 2 more breaths in down dog. Bring the gaze to the hands, bend the knees. Step, walk or jump to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold into the legs. Deep bend in the knees, come to chair pose. Holding your chair pose, move into sun C. So sink the hips closer to the floor. Interlace your fingers together. Press the palms up to the ceiling so you stretch the hands and the shoulders. Squeeze those arms back behind your ears, but without the back bend. So keep the lower ribs pulling in. Stay long and flat through the torso. Sink the sit bones further back and down towards your heels. Keep sinking down. Maybe the spine can come parallel with the floor so your gaze is towards the big toes. Pressing that clasp of the hands out in front of you. Take out any feeling of back bend. So keep those lower ribs pulling in. Activate the glutes. 1 more breath in where you are. Use the exhale to bring the palms to the floor. Lift the hips up and bring the knees towards the outer shoulders. Either just resting here and playing with taking weight into the hands. If you can, come into Bakasana so your toes pick up. Feel free to scrunch the fingers up like we did in that wrist exercise so you feel like you're clasping the mat into your palms. Take another breath or 2 if you can. Play around with it, it's fine. Now step or hop back into your chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest, good Jen. Exhale, back into your downward facing dog. Yeah, 28 degrees heat, who's sweating? From here, we're gonna lift the right leg up, bend the knee and open the hips, either pausing here or drop back into your wild thing again. Press the hips high, the gaze reaches back long through your left leg and your right arm. Gaze towards the mat, bring the hand towards the mat, lift that right leg back up high again. Exhale, step through to between your hands, coming into warrior one. On your exhale, open and wide into your warrior two. Adding in reverse warrior, so left fingers to your back leg, right hand reaching up and over. Now see if you can just lighten that left hand off the back leg. So you're using your core and your bandhas, contracting through Mula Bandha and Uddiyana. Use an inhale to come through warrior two. Right forearm resting to your front leg, left hand reaching over towards the other wall. Again, use the core, use the bandhas, slight feeling of tucking tailbone. See if your right hand now can reach out forwards towards the wall you're looking at. Not up above your ear, towards the wall you're looking at. Yeah. So Jinga, yeah, that's it. And then keep reaching through that right arm so your breastbone starts to rotate towards the ceiling. Only very slightly, but have that feeling of it trying to reach up. Take one more breath. Slowly bring the forearm back to your thigh. Lift back up to warrior two, straighten your front leg. You can heel toe back leg in a bit closer if you wish to, coming into Trikonasana. Reach the hand forwards, hinging down. Hand either resting very lightly to that front shin or a block or big toe, any variation you like. Back of the hand to inner ankle. Now try to flatten yourself out, so tuck the bum in, tuck your chest in, tuck those lower ribs in. Deepen the breath. Bring the gaze to the floor. If you have a brick, maybe out in front of your front foot, coming to your half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Hand can rest to the top hip first. Transfer the weight forwards and float the back foot. Either staying here, really nice. You can bind back foot coming into the top hand. A little easier if you bring the knee towards your chest first. Grab the foot or the ankle and then try to reopen. So allow that pressing of the foot into the hand to draw the top shoulder back. So you use all that shoulder opening that we found. You can either stay where you are or try to bring that into your King Dancer, Natarajasana. So you're bringing the chest up towards the wall in front of you. Use your right hand to lengthen out and up. Keep pressing back foot into the hand. Slowly come back down again, just tapping into it. Release hold of your back foot if you have it. Bring it down, you're coming into pyramid. So all of the toes facing the top of the mat. Feet are on train track lines. Bring the forehead into your shin. Keep that right sit bone reaching back. The back heel pressing into the floor. Again, if you have a brick, it might be more comfortable to bring that brick to the outer side of your front foot. So your left hand is going to press into that brick or the floor on the outer side of the foot. Right palm to lower back. Press down into that left hand so the shoulders spiral, and then maybe lift the right hand to the ceiling. Try to lengthen from the tailbone into the crown of the head, and reaching out through the spine. Lovely. Slowly bring that right hand back to the floor. Send your back leg away. You're coming back through to your warrior two legs. Hop the right hand to the inside of the front leg. Left hand lifting up to extended side angle with a little bit lower. Again, hand to block underneath if that's more comfortable. Take your top hand to wrap around the lower back. And if you want to add in a full bind, take the underneath hand under the thigh and reach for your fingers, maybe onto a strap if that's working into it. Now with this one, try to tuck the tailbones. Again, the glutes feel active and you'll be able to lift yourself slightly lighter away from that front thigh. Just using the core and the bandhas a little bit more. Use that clasp with the bind if you have it to lift the top shoulder further open. Again, sense the breastbone trying to rotate upwards. Slowly unravel the bind if you have it. Bring your right arm under the thigh to get that elbow to hook under and place the hand down just behind the heel. Both hands to the floor, your right hand behind that front heel. So if you sink into your arm, you can lift up the back heel. You should feel your right thigh against the right tricep. So really try and sit into it. If it's not quite connected there, then just keep working into that deeper lunge. If you have that connection, try and reach your front foot forward so your thigh is resting on that upper arm. And if you want to bring that into full Kumbhinyasana, drop the left elbow into your hip bone. So you have to kind of twist yourself into that left elbow. Take the weight forwards and the back foot will lift up. You want to spin that round to chin stand, you can come through if you wish to. Back foot round. Okay, take the chaturanga, step it back, lower down. Let yourself come all the way onto your belly once you've lowered that chaturanga. Bring the hands underneath your forehead. Take a couple of breaths. Take water if you need to anytime. It is hot today. As you're lying on the floor here, each time you exhale, try and bring the belly towards the spine. Bend the knees. The shoulders are pretty open, so I'm going to go straight in with both legs at a time. So reaching the hands around, so you can grab hold of your feet. Good. So nothing too strong. We'll build into this a couple of times throughout the rest of the practice. So press the feet lightly into your hands. Think of this not as a back bend, but more of a shoulder opening again. So press the feet into your hands so that it pulls the shoulder blades towards each other. Keep the head softening so gaze is forwards and down. Just keep pressing the feet to lift the shoulders up. So the body's only in a cobra feeling of back bend. You're getting that nice deep stretch around the front of the shoulders. So you can keep everything as it is, but just let go of your feet. So you're having to really activate the back to hold you there. So let go of them, but keep the arms reaching back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. One more breath where you are. Bring the legs out towards the back of the room. And then slowly lower the legs towards the floor. Bring the arms around to the sides of the room. And then bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Press up to all fours. Reach the hands out in front of you. Come back into that puppy stretch. Good. Either staying here with knees on the floor. If the chest can come forward slightly and rest into the ground, try picking up one knee at a time. If you're feeling very warm, maybe both knees lift. Go easy with that. So strong shoulder stand. Good. My goodness. Well done. Bring the knees down when you need to. And either press into the hands to the shoulders or slide the hands back to the shoulders first. Then press into them. Really good. Take a little wriggle out of your back. Coming into dolphin or pincher. Again, we'll have a second opportunity. So if you want to take dolphin this time, we'll have another opportunity to build into pincher. So dolphin, arms to the floor, lifting the hips up. If you want to play around with pincher, it's your forearm stand. So you can take a brick between your index fingers if you wish to, or bring yourself to a wall. Shoulders are pretty open, so if you want to take it into more of a shoulder opening, more of a back bend feeling through it, let the shoulders or the chest press forward. So you can use the wall to work with. The chest is reaching towards that back edge of the mat. Take about another 5 breaths wherever you're playing with. Last breath or so grab anything else you need to do, come back to the mat. Moment to resettle. Well done. I've just seen some legs come down. That must have been they've been up in the air. Well done. Yes, awesome. Good. Just come into kneeling. Give the shoulders a little roll out. We do have the left side to do our sun sea with, so take a moment. Slow down the breath. Bring the hands out in front of you. Come into your downward facing dog. Just walk the feet up towards your hands. I'm going to start from the tippy top again from your crow pose. So fingers out in front. Try turning the fingers very slightly out. Scrunch up the hands. So just playing around with different hand positions and inversions can change how things feel. There's no right or wrong. Particularly, it's slightly different for everyone's different shoulders or different alignments of the bones. So try playing around with it. Taking your crow. Chin, try straightening your arms a little bit, lean the weight further forwards. Step or hop, chaturanga. Lovely. Lift the chest, inhale. And back into downward dog. Good, take your time, make your way down. Good, lift the left leg up, take a full breath in. Bend the knee and open that hip. If you wish to, drop into wild thing for about 3 breaths. Pressing the hips up, open through the front line of the body. Slowly bring the hand to the mat. Lift the leg back up and step it through to your warrior one. Turn the back foot, lift the arms, take a full breath in, and as you exhale, open round to your warrior two. Reversing the warrior, so right hand to the back leg, left hand reaching over. See if you can just lighten that underneath hand off the leg. The other way, Julie, that's it, yeah. Inhale brings you through warrior two, and then forwards into that extended side angle, left arm to the thigh, reaching over. So you use that forearm to pull the leg back, then try and tuck the tailbone slightly so you have the opportunity to lift up away from that front thigh a little bit. Reaching this left hand forwards, keep reaching so the breastbone turns very slightly towards the ceiling. Bring the forearm back to the thigh. Lift up through your warrior two, take a big breath in, straighten the front leg. You can bring back foot in a little bit closer if you wish to. We're coming into Trikonasana. So reaching forwards, hinging down, either to block or to shin, inner ankle or big toe. Kind of just taking care of hammies, little micro bend in the knee. Flatten yourself out, press the hips forwards and lean the chest back. Couple more breaths. Take this into a half moon if you wish to, Ardha Chandrasana. So your hand can come forwards to floor or brick. Transfer the weight into that front leg. Maybe bending the knee, grab the foot. Press the foot into the hand. So again, you get the opening of the shoulder. So, Jin, try and lift that right knee towards the ceiling. Yeah. That's it. Hips pressing forwards. Again, if you want to take this up to a standing pose, you come into your Natasarasana. So your underneath hand is going to pick up off the floor and lift up towards the ceiling as you carry that back leg up. Keep pressing back foot into the hand. Good. Slowly coming out of it, just there for a breath. Release the back foot, really nice. Coming into pyramid, so back leg's going to come to the floor behind you, all the toes facing the top of the mat. Forehead drawing in towards the shin. Reach your left sit bone back towards the back of the mat, so your hips stay set. Press the back heel down. Revolve Trikonasana. Hand is into the outer side of your front foot, maybe onto a brick. Is going to start on the lower back. Press down underneath arm, so shoulders spiral. Holding there, then maybe left hand lifts up to ceiling. Slowly releasing both hands down. You're going to set the back leg away again. Coming back through your warrior two stance of the legs, so that your left hand is staying down on the inside of the front foot. The different variation of that extended side angle. The top hand, your right hand is wrapping down the lower back. Maybe that left arm can thread underneath to grab hold of the other hand. Don't worry if it doesn't quite get there. So use that bind to try and draw the top shoulder back. It's not pulling, you're not forcing, just encouraging a little bit more opening. Again, think trying to tuck the tailbone, so lean the chest back into your front knee. Slowly bring the gaze to the floor, unravel your bind, but keep that left elbow under the left knee. Take the hand to the floor, so it's kind of just behind the heel. Right hand to the ground. Lift up your back heel and see if you can sit onto your front tricep. Maybe you stay there, that's still a deep pose. You want to build it into more of a balance work. See if the front foot can come off. Maybe your right elbow can tuck in towards the hip bone, in towards the abdomen, and back foot lifts up. Step it back, take a chaturanga. Come all the way down onto your belly. All the way down. Yeah. Hands under the forehead. Take a couple of breaths. Bend both knees. Reach around to grab the feet. Press the feet into the hands. Again, start with that cobra posture of the spine, focusing into the feeling of opening the shoulders. If you want to then take it deeper, pressing the toes towards the ceiling so the knees will lift and the weight of the legs draws you back. Keep pressing feet or ankles into the hands. Keep the knees drawing slightly towards each other so they haven't swayed open too far. Good. Try and soften through the neck. A couple more breaths, toes reaching high. Slowly release the body to the ground. Release the legs, just take a moment back into that supine position with head resting into hands. Let the breath settle. Bring the hands under your shoulders, come up to all fours. Just give the back a little wriggle out. Have about 5 breaths, either pincher, your forearm stand, or dolphin. Or rest. If you need drills or anything with that, then let me know. Good, keep really pressing into those elbows. The head is elevated. The chest reaching back towards the back of the mats. Gaze down. Slowly bring it back to the mats. Really well done, guys. Awesome. Bring the knees to the floor, just take a breath or so. And child's pose or any rest position. When you're ready, coming forwards and up into downward dog. You can walk or jump the feet to the top of the mat with wider feet. So bring the feet towards the outer edges of the mats. Turn the toes out very slightly and then drop the hips all the way down into Malasana in your squat pose. Heels down. Use the elbows to press the knees out. Bring the hands to the heart center and lift long through the spine. Again, slow down the breath. Feel the grounding of this posture. Let the left hand just rest to the floor, so fingertips to the ground. Right arm is just going to lift up and draw a big circle around behind you. Then lift it back up again, up and over, like we're doing front crawl to the floor. Left hand is going to lift up, all the way back and round, and then lifting it back up and all the way around in front of you. Lift the right hand up, Let yourself maybe lean into that hand. So if you lean it back so the weight comes off the left one and into the right, pressing into that right one to lift the hips. See how it feels. Good, then hips down, push from that right hand, reach forwards through the left to transfer the weight back over. Swim the arm back overhead. Left arm reaches back, hand comes to the floor, so let the weight come into it. Reach up through the right hand to lift the hips. Sink the hips back down to reach right hand forwards and press through that left arm to swim back over. Good, maybe taking that once more either side. If we can, build it up to come more into your wheel. So the hand's going to come to the floor, lift the hips up, and see if the left hand can come to the ground. Back over again. See how you go. Yes, Jen, nice. Or just taking the swimming arms in it. Whoa. Good, lovely. If you're in wheels, you can come back over. Oh, careful, Jen. Thumbs up, are you okay? Okay, good. Slowly bring your hips to the floor. Come into seated with legs out in front of you. Well done. That would take, you have to do a few face plants in those transitions before you understand where you need to go. So give the knees a little wobble, the feet a little wriggle. And then we'll just take a kind of simple twist. So bend the right knee in towards the chest and hook that foot over your left thigh. The left arm's going to reach forwards and hug the knee in towards the chest. Right hand behind you. Take a full breath in, lift tall. And as you exhale, draw that knee towards the chest and the chest around towards the long side of the mat. Keep pressing out through the left heel. Drop the shoulders any further down your back and soften the neck. Feel the breath move into the back ribs. Slowly soften the shoulders back center. Just tucking this left heel then in towards the body, or if that's tricky for knees, just stack that top leg further round, so just tuck it further in. So you're working into Gomukhasana or with variation. So if you can, that left foot tucks in as well. Good, hands to the floor, lift tall through the spine, take a full breath in, and as you exhale, fold into the legs. Oh my gosh, hips, wow. 2 deep breaths wherever you are, looking good. Slowly lift the chest up. Unravel the legs, so both legs right in front of you, Dandasana. Take the left leg to bend and then place the foot over the thigh. Taking the twist to start with, so right arm is going to reach forwards. Hug the knee into your elbow and left hand behind you. Take a full breath in, grow tall. Exhale, draw the knee in towards your chest, the shoulders round. Even out the weight in your sit bones. Soften the shoulders, soften the neck. Feel the breath move into the back ribs. Slowly bring the shoulders back to center. So again, same variations, either just tucking this leg around a little bit further or tuck the right knee in if we can. Hands out in front, take a full breath in, grow tall. Exhale, leaning forward, sink breastbone towards the top knee. Keep it soft. 2 full breaths wherever you are. Slowly bring yourself up. Unravel the legs. Bring yourself onto your back with the knees in towards your chest. Take a gentle rock side to side on your spine. Then bring the feet to the floor. Just lift the hips up and place your pelvis down to the left side of your mat. So you're just going to swing the pelvis across to the left. Let both knees then drop over to the right. And bring yourself into any variation of a twist from there that feels good. So maybe you just let the legs flop down, Or feel free to wrap the legs or extend the top leg anywhere you want to go to. Try to keep the shoulders rooted, that left shoulder blade coming down the back. Slowly bring your knees back up to the center. Use an exhale. Bring the hips to the middle of the mat again. Just align everything nice and straight. Take a breath there in center. And then lift the hips up and place them down over to the right side of the mat. So the legs drop down to the left with a bit more comfort. And again, replace your legs into any variation of a twist that you want to come into. Shoulders stay down. Breath moves fully. On your exhale, gently bring the knees to center. Bring your hips to center, the arms to center, and again, just take a breath there in the middle, nice and aligned. Take anything else that you need to do, whether it's a happy baby or a little bridge pose or another twist or rocking. And as and when you feel ready to, bring yourself into a Shavasana. Create some space between the limbs and the torso. Create a sense of lightness and softness around the face. Let go of any ujjayi sound, any focus of the bandhas. The whole body just feeling softer now and resting. Created a lot of open space and energy in the body, particularly with the heat around us. And connect with the sensation of the ground, that cooling feeling into the floor. Maybe acknowledging a little bit more freedom of movement through the breath. Now that the shoulders have released, the chest space is released. The spine is feeling looser. On your next inhale, reach the arms back behind you. Find a full body stretch. Take a couple of really deep breaths into the body. And then bend the knees, bring your feet to the floor if they aren't there already. Take your time to either roll yourself to one side or take a very gentle rock to seated if that's more comfortable. Bring yourself upright as and when feels good. Keep the eyes closed for a moment if you can. Bring the hands to the legs. Bring to mind one thing that you can feel grateful for today. Acknowledge one thing that you are proud of yourself for. And recognize how getting to your yoga mat has served you in some way today. closing that to the heart center, bringing the palms together. Take a really deep breath in. And as you exhale, bring the head to your hands. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. Well done, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jen.
Just what I needed.
Awesome. Well done, mate. Your hamstring feeling all right?